Brianna. It's two different people.
It
Brianna
is.
Kiera Dennis. And that is
What?
Brianna Nakai. I'm fixing each other. Go ahead.
Are they like twins?
I don't know. She reported it out to me, but I need to kick in my butt to get my brain right.
That's your call. All right, so if you all will look up at the monitors, we're going to go to PowerPoint, and then we're going to call the calendar. So this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is John Stacker. I'm your judge, and this is the ticket trials calendar call. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you. Hey, please don't talk during court. Our goal is to get you back to your lives. And frankly, I won't have much patience with any disruptions. So please let us move forward quickly, remain silent, and let us do our jobs. I have one person virtually appearing, Ronald Morgan. Mr. Morgan, go ahead and grab a pen and a piece of paper or some way to capture information about your case. Listen for your name, wait for me to call it. Just know that you can't unmute yourself. And while you're waiting, please shut off the camera. All right, cell phones. So earlier I came out and asked everybody to turn their phones on so you could get on the DDS app. I'm asking you to turn them off now. I just did the same thing back here. So everybody pull those phones back out, push that power button for 2.5 seconds, and shut off your phones. Okay. This is the, is there any Supreme Court going on today?
Yes. Judge Mills got civil.
Civil, okay. So this is the correct courtroom for you if you were issued a citation here in Spalding County. That citation directed you to appear. That is not correct. You would have already appeared for your arraignment date. No, that's it. I updated the PowerPoints, but I messed that up. Okay. All right. So you appeared for your arraignment date. You demanded a trial. You came back here today. This is your calendar call, and then trials are in a couple weeks out. So, there's the second. All right, today is what's called your calendar call. I'm going to go over your rights with you, and I'm going to tell you what your options are, and then you or your attorneys are going to tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a jury trial, and that's where 6 jurors sit in that box over there to your left to decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. And then you can issue a bench trial. That's where I issue the verdict without a jury. You may conference with the solicitor's office if you wish to try to resolve your case. And those of you who do not have an attorney that wish to ask me about that, we can have that conversation. Now, everybody's charges in this courtroom are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, everyone here has the right to a speedy and public jury trial. That's where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. You can also choose a bench trial. That's where I decide guilt or innocence with no jury present. You can waive your right to a trial if you wish, close your case with a plea. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. All right, you have the right to be presumed innocent. You have the right to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify, to not incriminate yourself, and if you remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. All right, you have the right to have an attorney. You may still hire your own if you so choose, and there's private attorneys floating around here you can talk to. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, then you should have applied on your arraignment date, like I asked you to, with the Public Defender's Office. Now, I warned you on that date that if you did not take action ASAP to secure their services, you would very likely waive the right to apply for their services. But if you want to have that conversation, we still can. Now, an attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what the charges are and what the defenses are to those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf, make objections, protect your record, appeal any conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, I am responsible for explaining first offender and conditional discharge. These each allow you to enter a guilty plea without being convicted. Oops, there you go. But you only get one of each for your entire life. First offender is for traffic related, is for anything except traffic related charges, and conditional discharges for drug related offenses only. All right, nolo contendere. This applies to almost everybody here in the courtroom today. This is where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt, and it is available on most basic traffic charges. You're allowed one no-lo every 5 years, and that is measured from the incident date to the incident date, the ticket date to the ticket date. The no-lo will usually prevent points, and will usually save your license. It won't help you much if you're under 21. Who here is under 21? Quick show of hands, if anybody. Okay, no response. All right, if you're here today and you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. Habeas corpus, weird old law that I'm responsible for explaining to you, and here goes. If you are convicted, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge your conviction. All traffic charges have a 6-month window to use those habeas rights. Everything else in this courtroom has a 12-month window to use those rights before they expire. All right, you make conference today with the solicitor's office. If that's you and you're representing yourself, just announce conference when your name is called. The solicitor's office, again, that's this group up here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. If you reach an agreement, you can resolve your case. If you do not reach an agreement, and this is very important, you must return to this courtroom and wait for me to personally give you your next set of instructions, which will include signing the verdict form. Okay, what is our 30 for 30 program? So this is a program for those of you who do not wish to go to trial, but you do not wish to be placed on probation, and you do not currently have the funds to pay your fine in full. So if those 3 things all apply to you, you don't want to go to trial, you don't want to go on probation, and you don't have the funds to pay it, then ask for a conference and talk to the solicitor's office about our 30 for 30 program. We did not steal that from ESPN, I promise. If you negotiate a plea that includes probation, then at the plea, I will delay the start of your probation by 30 days. You will pay a $30 program fee, hence 30 for 30. If you pay your fine off in full plus the $30 within the 30 days, then your case closes with no probation conditions. That's the program. It is wildly successful. I think at last count, we have somewhere between an 80 and an 85% success rate in closing cases. It's been a win-win, and I'm incredibly proud of Director Matthews, our sentence enforcement chief, who created the program. Okay, if you don't close your case in 30 days, then 31 days out, probation starts automatically, but it usually is still terminated upon completion, so you usually still have an exit ramp. All right, if you're probation today, you'll be supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Team. 100% of all fines in this court may always be worked off with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. Additionally, there is a $50 intake fee per case. And then your monthly supervision fee is $60 per month until your case is closed. The $60, until you complete your active probation. The $60 supervision fee is mandatory, but it can be certainly waived after a separate hearing before me. All right, this is a 2-week trial calendar. So what that means to you is that all the jury trials and bench trials are together on this trial calendar. This is week 1. This is your calendar call. We're all going to skip a week next week and do some other court, and then we'll all return here on Monday, October 7th at 9 a.m. sharp to begin the trials. You'll appear each and every day until your case is resolved. We will use multiple courtrooms in week 2, and we will reach your case for trial. All right, we are still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So if you recognize a name of someone I'm about to issue a warrant for because they're not here, call them, tell them to get down here, and you'll definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. All right, for attorneys and intrepid defendants who filed motions, you must let me know if there are any outstanding pretrial motions, speedy trial demands, or anything else that I need to factor into the calling of your case for trial. Failure to give me this information or an issue of a bench warrant will waive all pretrial matters. All pretrial matters must be heard on the first calendar that is scheduled, or they are waived unless I specifically preserve it on the record in open court. All right, I had given this title all kinds of, this slide, all kinds of titles, but I finally just went with this is important because I felt like that told you all that what I'm saying is important. If you announce that you want a jury trial or a bench trial, you need to understand that you are telling me that you do not want a conference. You do not want an attorney. You do not want a continuance. You do not want a negotiated plea. You do not have any motions, and you don't want to do anything but try your case. And the reason why is because I have no intentions of exploring any of those options when I've got a jury right outside that door ready to come in and try your case. The whole point of counter call is to explore these options, even if you don't choose them. All right, so I'm about to call the calendar. When you hear your name called, stand up for me if you're able. If you're not able to stand up, just wave your hand real high so I can see who I'm addressing. If you do not have an attorney, then these are your instructions. You're going to stand up. You're going to announce very loudly, and then I'll wait for you to be seated. So you'll yell out really loudly, jury trial, or bench trial, or conference, or attorney. And then if you have any motions, and of course, I still leave the under 21 up there in case somebody miraculously remembers that they are under 21. But if not, we'll just leave that one be. All right, any housekeeping?
Yeah, the continuation with the dentist,
Yes.
they're both in jail.
I'm so sorry.
That's what threw me off in
Incredibly
the very
frustrating.
beginning.
Okay. Okay. That's,
Yeah, I'm just gonna let that go.
okay. Well, we'll just see them both soon. Okay, anything else? Okay. Mr. Shepherd, anything else?
No, Sir Judge, no.
That's fine.
We're
Sorry.
going.
No, it's okay. Go. All right, here we go. Page one, all time is paid and closed with
Yes.
Mr. White.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, Mr. Touchstone, I saw him coming. Yeah, you're there.
One judge, yes, we do a pre-trial.
Okay.
Signed up and just waiting on probation.
Okay, they usually get here about 9:30. It's 9, yes, they should.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
Good to see you, by the way.
Good to see you too.
All right, Wayne Coleman. All right, what would you like to do, Mr. Coleman? If you stand up for me, that way we can conference. Okay.
And Judge, we need to confirm this, because there's two Wayne Colemans in our system. Mr. Coleman, are you a junior, or you, okay, so I think we determined the other one is.
The other one is the senior.
Okay,
Okay.
so we had it flagged as a second case, but I think it's,
So this is correct then?
yes.
And your middle name is Sylvester? Okay. All right, Gary Combs.
Judge, that's the one I was just speaking with Ms. Middleton on when you were asking me a question.
Sure.
We got a call for the clerk's office, I believe, received a call from him this morning. He's
He's very, an elderly gentleman apparently and lives in Tifton. Hannah spoke to him in our office, Hannah.
Okay.
And he doesn't have a car and he doesn't know how to pay his ticket online, which means he doesn't know how to do virtual. So she got his phone number, so we said
Okay.
we'd call.
we'll just,
Well, what do you want to do? You want to bookmark it and keep moving, or do you want to do
we'll
something?
ask for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant this time. We'll use
All right, so that's granted.
pushing 80.
Yeah, that's granted just for bookmarking purposes. Obviously, as soon as we get a plan with him, I'm happy to lift it. All right, Brianna Dennis, is y'all's.
Yes, Judge, in
tomorrow.
jail, we'll deal with it tomorrow.
And Judge Howell can't, cover court tomorrow morning, so I'll be out there with y'all, just to say that loud.
He said to make sure that you don't enjoy doing that.
He was like, can you ask anybody else to do it? And I was like, no, it's fine. I don't really want that job back. So, all right, Anthony Edie. Edie? Oh, good morning. What do you want to do, sir? Conference, thank you. James Glover. Conference, thank you. Cass Ledbetter.
Bench trial.
All right, thank you very much. Do you have your license reinstated?
Yes.
You have it there? Do you mind having a conversation with them? You might get an outcome you might like. Not right now, but just in a minute. If you have your license in your hand, you have a pretty good chance of being able to get this thing resolved. But if not, I'm happy to give you your bench trial. You understand? I'm happy to give it to you, but
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let you talk to them first.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and speak.
He literally got it in his hand. All right, Devanya Lewis.
Bench trial.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Rodriguez Miller is in jail.
Yes.
See him tomorrow. I don't show him as y'all's.
No, sir.
All right, I'll come back to Mr. Morgan. Lexi Pratt, Oh, that's when Mr. Dutton's here on.
You're on, I'm announcing on behalf of Leslie Dinoff. That's a pre-charter version that we just got to get her signed up.
Okay. And Ms. Denoff texted me and said she was.
Yes, I spoke with
Mr.
her.
Pratt? We'll talk this.
It should be a signed up pre-trial judge.
Ms. Pratt, your attorney communicated well with the court and was delayed, so Mr. Dutton is helping Ms. Denoff out.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then this one's actually yours, Mr. Dutton. Tammy Sheffield.
Yes, Your Honor, we just need a conference. I believe we can work that one out today. She's also waived the right to be present.
Son is paid with Bridget Gray.
Yes.
Over to you, Mr. Malloy. Johnny Tutson. Tutson, over there. Thank you.
Conference, Your Honor.
Gregory Witten is paid
Should
and
be
closed.
paid.
Emily Wright. All right, thank you very much.
And Judge, Tutson
Yes,
has a second case,
okay.
24 SR 0692. That's a loitering obstruction charge.
Okay.
We have them both, Your Honor.
All right, so Carly, we'll just add it to the calendar just for the purpose of tracking them together. I know you don't have witnesses, but that'll at least let me get them together. All right, and then, so a couple of announcements just to sweep everybody else up, and I'll also talk to Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan, you there? I've sent you an unmute request. If you'll approve that, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Morgan, what would you like to do with your case?
You told me to get my license. I got my license, sir.
Excellent. What's a good phone number for us to reach you?
313-412-4214.
All right, you gave me 313-412-4214. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you disconnect yourself from the system. I'm gonna let the solicitor's office confirm the information with you, and then they'll give you your next set of instructions, okay?
Okay, so I need to just hang up and then wait for a phone call?
That's correct. It'll be, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour, somewhere in there.
Okay, 30, 45 minutes. Okay, sir. I'll leave the phone in the truck with the truck driver so he'll let me know when the phone rings and I'll come up and answer.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
All right. The phone gonna ring in a little while.
Do the conferences, I think there's just 4 of you wanted a conference, so we're gonna call you all back here in just a second. When your name is called, just follow Miss Middleton out the double doors over here to my right, your left, follow her down the hallway. There's a waiting area outside of my office. We'll call you back one at a time, have your conference. And then
Alex
send
sent
you
me
back
a
in here to
note
resolve your
saying
case and
that-
get instructions for you.
Send you an unmute request. All right, Mr. Morgan, if you'll approve that request.
I think it's gonna take him a minute.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna.
Yes, sir.
That's all right. Mr. Morgan, I'm about to put a document up on your screen,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm gonna do a different plea. And while I'm doing that other plea, I'd like you to both follow along as well as take a look at the document,
Uh-huh.
because it's what we're gonna have the folks who are in the courtroom sign, okay?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, so give me just a second. I'm gonna mute you back, and then I'll come back to you in a second.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so we'll come back to him in just a minute. All right, the next case I have is Edie. If you'll come on up to the podium, please. All right, Mr. Edie, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, if you'll take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Anthony Kimball Edie.
All right, and Mr. Edie, you are here today on 24 SR 0617, and you were here on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights? All right, and speak up just a bit. Miss Kathy here is going to record our conversation, and that's here for you, not me.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Edie, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver, and it's also up on the wall there, but do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
It is, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
You understand you have the right to have an attorney and you're here representing yourself, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. You are charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license. Have you used a NOLO on a suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
I have, sir.
Okay, I figured you had, but I just want to put that on the record that we at least.
Your court judge in 2020.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Mr. Edie, did you here in Spalding County back on May 18th of 2024 operate your motor vehicle on a public roadway while your Georgia driver's license was suspended by the Department of Driver Services?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find with your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Anthony Edie on 24 SR 0617, count 1, suspended license. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. 602 is your fine. You may work your fine off with community service work. You will need to get your Georgia driver's license as a result of this guilty plea. You will lose your Georgia driver's license and you'll need to get it reinstated. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, hey, Chris, what do you need? Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Judge, Mr. Edie has another one pending in municipal court also.
Okay.
I don't believe he will be able to get his driver's license
Oh, then that's,
anytime soon. So
that
that's
makes-
I don't know if my sticky note on there may have fallen off somewhere.
yeah, it's over here.
I just, based on the circumstances,
Ah.
I don't believe he'll be able to get one. So the state's fine with waiving the license requirement.
Happy to do that because I was trying to figure out how to balance those two. So that's a good solution, Mr. Shepherd. Sorry I missed your sticky note. All right, I'm gonna waive the right for you to get your license. But just know that if you come back in front of me with a new suspended license after this moment, I'm gonna have zero mercy. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 one-time intake fee. In this case, can close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
Yes, sir.
Any questions before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to pass you off to the bailiffs. They're going to walk you out those double doors back that way and have you go meet with the sentence enforcement team. Thank you. All right, Ledbetter, if you'll come up to the podium. All right, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Cass Ledbetter.
All right, and Mr. Ledbetter, you were here today and you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
They are.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
I did, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ledbetter, you originally asked me for a bench trial, but then you showed me your license from out in the gallery, and so I had you do this. I asked you to do a conference with the solicitor's office. It looks like y'all have reached an agreement to resolve your case. Are you wanting me to take this plea?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you at this plea?
I do, sir.
And you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you used a NOLO on a suspended license anytime in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to allow you to use your NOLO for driving that occurred on June 6, 2021 here in Spalding County and resulted in this suspended license charge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering the plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Any questions I can answer for you, Mr. Ledbetter, about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Cass Ledbetter on 22 SR 1073, count 1, suspended license. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation. 158 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. You've already gotten your license back. Show that to the sentence enforcement team. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. $60 per month supervision fee, $50 one-time intake fee. This is consecutive to any state court sentence, and your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right. Bailiff's going to walk you out those double doors back that way, and good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Kathy, let's talk to Mr. Morgan, my virtual. All right, Mr. Morgan, I have sent you an unmute request. If you'll approve that, please.
Sir.
All right, Mr. Morgan, I'm going to place you under oath. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morgan, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Morgan, since you and I talked a couple of minutes ago, I've left this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver up on your screen.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to see it?
Yes, sir.
And so let's go through a couple of questions, starting with, you were on time for court this morning, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights that I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint on your screen when I first went through it?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Is it acceptable to you that we're doing this plea over this video conference system?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morgan, on the self-represented document, we're going to run through a few highlights. Are you knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
And you'll see I'm just starting in paragraph 1 there. Has anyone Has anyone threatened you or forced you in any way to enter this plea?
No, sir.
And you are Ronald Bernard Morgan. And do you understand what we're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand you're charged with 1 count of suspended license, and that it's a misdemeanor?
Yes, sir.
Moving down to paragraph 4, you understand you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
as well as the right, and I'm going to read off the whole list there. Are you tracking with me on the sheet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The right to be presumed innocent, to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, subpoena your own witnesses and evidence, to testify or not testify, and to not incriminate yourself. Do you understand you're giving up those rights by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you affirmatively wish to represent yourself in this plea?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you are about to receive probation, and you will need to abide by those conditions to successfully close your case.
Yes, sir.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you're waiving your Fourth Amendment rights by entering this plea
Yes, sir.
for searches? And then lastly, if you wish to challenge this conviction, you'll have 6 months on your habeas rights. Do you understand all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the rights. Have you used a NOLO on a suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept it for this charge from today, which was from September 30th of 2021?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO on this suspended license charge is appropriate, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it exactly the way you negotiated it. Can I answer any questions for you about anything, including the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver, which is still up on your screen?
No, sir. I agree with everything.
All right, I'm going to pull that down off the screen here. All right, then the sentence of the court is as follows. Ronald Morgan on 23 SR 0151, count 1, suspended license. The NOLO is granted. It's 12 months of probation. $590 is your fine. Count 2 is dismissed. That's a total of 12 months of probation. You may work your fine off with community service work. Show your license to sentence enforcement because you've got it in the back, correct?
Yes, I got my license. Yes, sir.
Excellent. So this should not resuspend your license. It should protect your license.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 one-time intake fee. This is consecutive to any state court sentence, and this case will terminate pretty much the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right,
Yes, sir.
Can I answer any questions for you? I got to assign you a report date. You need to call the sentence enforcement office.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have you, do you live here or are you out and about?
No, sir. I live in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, then you're going to call by phone. And I'm also going to go ahead and mark that you are e-report. All right, so you're going to call the sentence enforcement. You're going to get their information by going to spaldingcounty.com and navigating to the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement page. You're going to call them this Friday, which would be the 27th. So 9/27/24, and you're going to call between 9 a.m. and noon.
Okay.
And if you don't get anybody, just leave a message telling them that you're doing your check-in, and they'll pick it up from there.
Okay. Can you hold on 1 second, sir? I had to walk away from the truck. Let me get a pen right there so I can write this down so I can make sure I be on point. Accurate.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience.
It wouldn't be a virtual day if somebody didn't ask me to hold on so they can get a pen.
One second, sir. Sorry about that. Okay, what you say? I need to go to Spalding County webpage, sir?
Yeah, spaldingcounty.com. Go to the sentence enforcement page. You can go to my page. There's a link to it to get their phone number. And you need to call them this Friday, the 27th, between 9 and noon. It goes back just like normal.
Spalding County. Okay, I got you, sir.
All right. Well, Mr. Morgan, good luck to you, and you be safe, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir. You do the same.
Thank you.
All right.
He had a pretty good connection for being on a cell phone in Detroit, Michigan.
I agree. So, all right. That's everybody except my trial folks that I need to go through. Mr. Shepherd, do you need anything else from me before I start talking to my trial people?
No, sir, Judge.
What do y'all need that I can do for
We
you?
have one plea that she's going through the probation part right now,
Okay.
Judge, and that's Miss Tutson, I'm sorry.
Okay. Got it. I see it. Okay, well then I'm just gonna work my way down the pages here and see who I need to talk to. So, all right, I show that Booker entered the pretrial,
Yes, sir.
so I don't need to worry about that. What about Wayne Coleman?
He asked for a trial.
Okay, Mr. Coleman? No, he's not here. Coleman?
Oh, he's the one that, came up on y'all call.
Oh, he's raising his hand now.
Oh, wait, no,
So-
that was Gary, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, Mr. Coleman, sit tight. Did you want a bench trial or a jury trial? Okay, thank you very much. Sit tight. I've got to pull up your form for you. Combs is a warrant. Or is that the elderly gentleman?
Yes, sir, that's the one, he's gonna be a no-low plea.
Okay.
He's sending in the money order prior to trial.
Okay, perfect. Dennis is tomorrow. Tomorrow. Edie just pled.
Yes, sir.
What do we do with Glover?
I believe he asked for a trial.
Glover?
Yes.
You want a jury trial or a bench trial?
Jury, sir.
All right, thank you. I'll come back to you in just a minute. I've got to print your forms. Cass Ledbetter just pled. Lewis asked for a bench trial. Miller's in jail. Talk to him tomorrow. Ronald Morgan just pled. Pratt, I believe, successfully entered the pretrial.
Yes.
Okay, good there. Sheffield,
That'll be resolved before trial.
okay. Okay, Son is paid, Tutson is signing up, Witten is paid, and Emily Wright asked for a bench trial. Okay, well then I'm about to start printing out the forms. So I'll probably need a couple of amended accusations from you, depending on, I definitely need them, but we'll see what they say as far as tomorrow goes, coming back tomorrow. All right, let's start with Wayne Coleman. Please come up to the podium. And Mr. Malloy, just get my attention when your client comes in. I'm just going to keep doing this until you wave at me.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Coleman, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, if you'll please take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Wayne Sylvester Coleman Jr.
Okay. Mr. Coleman, you're here on 24 TK 0014. You are here representing yourself, is that correct?
Sure.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that your wish? Do you wish to affirmatively represent yourself at trial?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If I get an attorney, if I'm proven not guilty on this jury trial, does the state reimburse my money that I spent on those attorney fees? Because if they don't, it'll be like I was still punished for something I
Okay,
didn't do.
I'm not tracking. Pull that mic up a little bit. I didn't quite hear it. I heard attorney and then I heard a not guilty, and I'm trying to put those two together in the way you were trying to ask me. So will you ask me that question again?
So I'm asking you this question because I've been paying attention to your character since I've been sitting back there. So I feel like it's fair that I can ask you.
You can ask me anything. It's okay. Go ahead.
So if I go to jury trial, right, and to get a lawyer to represent myself, that would cost me money to pay that lawyer, probably more than what this ticket would even cost, right? So if I'm found not guilty on that trial, do the state reimburse the money that I paid to that lawyer to fight for my case?
Okay. And the answer to that-
If they don't, that would be me still being punished and taking food out my family's mouth to fight for something. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure. And the short answer is different legal systems handle that question differently. In the United States of America system as a whole, generally defendants are responsible for their own attorney's fees. And so if you go and you hire an attorney and you bring that attorney with you and your attorney wins it, then what you've won is the trial itself. You're not guilty of the charges and there's no fine. But if you're unable to afford an attorney, then I can appoint the public defender's office to represent you, which you'll remember me saying that at an arraignment date. So the short answer is no. There's no scenario where the state reimburses you for your costs of hiring an attorney. But it's a good question.
Right. Because in the end, it's like it's a lose-lose.
So, well, it depends on what's more
Even if
important.
what I'm saying is, if you know you didn't do it, that's the purpose of fighting for it. You know what I mean? So before we go to that far, why can't there be a preliminary hearing had with that officer, me and the solicitor, to actually sit down and see what evidence the both sides had before we even go that far and waste the public's money, time.
Well, that's called a conference, and I
Well,
offered.
right. We did
and
that
you had
conference.
that.
We did that conference, but it was just between me and the solicitor. The officer wasn't there. There was no evidence presented there, so we can avoid going that farther. You understand what I'm trying to say, though? I'm just asking a fair question.
I understand you're asking me a question. I think what you're asking me is, would I be willing to have a probable cause hearing to determine the sufficiency of the evidence to go to trial? And the answer to that is no, because that's not properly before me in a request. So your options at this point are if you're looking to balance efficiency, you'd have a bench trial because those are much faster and easier because they're just with the judge. But I don't have a preference, but I do need to move this forward. So if you want more time to think about it, you certainly can. If you want a jury trial, I'm going to fill out that form. If you want a bench trial, I'm going to fill out the other form. Do you have any more questions you want to ask me?
Nah.
No. Okay. Do you want a jury trial or a bench trial?
A jury trial.
Okay. Then I'm going to come back to this. Do you wish to represent yourself at your jury trial?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna print this form for you and I to sign. One of the things that we don't have today is what's called an amended accusation. So right now, what is in the file is the copy of your citation, which you have a copy of from the side of the road that day where the officer gave that to you. I'm not allowed to try jury trials on the citations. And so what's going to happen is the state is going to file this afternoon what's called an amended accusation because you're demanding a jury trial. And so you have two options. I do not have a preference what you choose here. You can either, since it's going to be the exact same charge, except in written format, you can waive the right to come back tomorrow at 1:30 and just know that they'll give you a copy of it on Monday morning when you come back for trial. But if you would like to see it before trial, then I'll need you to come back tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 to have me formally review that with you in open court. And again, it's just simply a written version in paragraph form of the citation that is currently in the file. Does that make sense? All right, so it's a more formal document. So do you wish to come back tomorrow and have me formally give that to you tomorrow afternoon? Or do you wish to just get your copy Monday morning when you come back on October 7th for trial?
I mean, if it's saying the same thing that the ticket say, I can get it the Monday when I come for trial.
Okay, well, how about this? I'll make you a promise that if it says anything different than 59 and a 35, I'll give you a continuance. How about that? So that'll trade it. That'll protect you. So, all right. Well, then what I'm going to do is have you sign this here, and then the state will attach the amended accusation, and we'll be ready to try your case the week of the 7th. All right, so you'll present that to him. All right, so Mr. Coleman, let's read that through together. So you can see I've written your name at the top there. It says, I am the defendant in this matter. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
I knowingly, freely, and voluntarily decline an attorney I demand to represent myself in this matter. I also waive formal arraignment. I acknowledge that the court has provided me a copy of the accusation and witnesses to me. By the time you get to the trial, that'll be true because you'll be given a copy as soon as you get here on Monday. I waive any defects in the accusation. I plead not guilty and I demand a jury trial. If that is all accurate, please sign where it says defendant. And then you'll see at the bottom where it says verdict of the jury, that there's two phases to it. First, they will decide whether or not you are guilty of speeding, which is simply exceeding the speed limit. And then they'll have the option of deciding if you were guilty of speed. If they find you not guilty, we're done. If they find you guilty, they'll have the option of deciding if you were operating your motor vehicle at a lower speed than what was on the face of the charging document. If they choose not to fill that out, then the specific speed charged will be the speed the court accepts the verdict on. Does that make sense? Okay. Then if you'll sign that, and Dennis will pass that over to the solicitor's office, and you and I will be good to go.
Because I already signed right here.
Right in the middle, the defendant on the left.
That's all. That's all. Just-
Yeah, I already signed that part.
Okay.
Okay, you're good to go then. All right. So, Mr. Coleman, I'll see you back here on Monday, October 7th at 9 a.m. sharp. Do not be late that day. I have a lot of ground to cover. And so be early that day. Any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
All right, and you understand it's for the week. So it's a week-long trial calendar, so you need to be here until your case is finished, but we're very good at what we do and we'll get to you quickly. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you very much.
All right.
Mr. Malloy, I
That's
think
fine,
your
Judge.
paperwork's up
Ms.
here.
Hudson, come on up now.
All right, this looks great. Ms. Tutson, if you'll take, yeah, they're going to move that mic down for you there. It's for short folks like us and taller folks like Mr. Malloy, all the same. So, Ms. Tutson, will you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down. Please state your full name for me.
Janai Tutson.
All right, and Ms. Tutson, you're here on two cases, 24 TK 0304. That's what we're going to enter this plea on. And then we also have 24 SR 0692, which is going to be dismissed at the end of this plea. So you have just one case that you're pleading to. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Tutson, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Ms. Tutson, your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2,
Yes.
and is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
And did you have a chance to ask your attorney any questions that you had?
Yes.
Okay, you're a little bit emotional. Do you need to speak with Mr. Malloy, or are we okay to keep going? You tell me what you need right now. Do you want me to keep moving forward with this plea? I just want to honor the fact that you're a little bit emotional and you're not the first person. We just want to make certain we're good to go. Would you like me to give you a minute, or do you want me to go forward with your plea?
I don't know.
Okay. Then I'm going to let you take a minute. I'm going to go over with one more person, but if you're ready to go, I'll go forward now. But otherwise, I'm going to have you sit in the gallery for just a minute and take a breather.
Let's just do it.
Okay. All right. Then, do you understand, ma'am, that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Tutson, I'm sorry, Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate for the purpose of this NOLO that there's a factual basis to support this failure to yield charge from February 15th of 2023 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Tutson, do you wish to enter a NOLO on this charge?
Yes.
And have you used a NOLO on anything in the last 5 years?
No.
Okay. And so I'm going to find that and you want me to accept it for this charge from February 15th, 2023 here in Spalding County?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find between Mr. Malloy's stipulation as the factual basis to the level of a NOLO plea combined with Ms. Tutson's request to enter the NOLO plea, that it's proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that Ms. Tutson is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving her rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Mr. Malloy, do you wish to add anything?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Tutson, do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No.
No? Okay. Ms. Tutson, on 24 TK 0304, count 1, failure to yield, I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, 158 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. That'll give you the option to participate in our 30 for 30 program, which is where you pay your fine in full plus $30 and your case closes with no probation conditions. 31 days out, if your case is still open, you may at that point work off your fine with community service work. You'll need to show your valid license to sentence enforcement, have no illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products, and be tested for those. $60 per month supervision fee, $50 one-time intake fee. This would be consecutive to any state court sentence, and your case would still terminate the moment you've satisfied your obligations, even if you get that far into the process. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Your second case, 24 SR 0692, is being dismissed pursuant to this plea agreement. I'm signing it, and that case is closed. Can I answer any questions for you, ma'am, about anything before we part ways? No? Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Tutson, thank you very much. I'm going to pass you off, and obviously this was very difficult for you. I'm sorry about that. Okay? All right. You may step out those double doors, Ms. Tutson. That's it?
That's it.
All right. All right. Good to see you, Mr. Malloy, as always. See you in the morning.
Terrence, y'all don't have
Do what?
anything on the afternoon, as far as I can tell.
Okay. No, it went.
You got to use
Oh,
it in the morning.
he grabbed it. John, will
See
you
how that goes.
grab that Nalpros back? He took it out. That was my fault. I think I clipped them together. So, okay. All right, let's get back to who we need to talk to. Next one would be James Glover. All right, Mr. Glover, if you'll please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
James Earl Glover.
All right, Mr. Glover, you are here on 24 TK 1154, and you are on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes.
You hear all the rights are read out in the courtroom and see the PowerPoint up on the wall?
Yes.
And after all that, you're wishing to have a jury trial, is that correct?
Just probably just do a bench trial.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Let me print the other form then.
You said bench trial?
Yes. So what I'm doing now is just printing the bench trial form. I'd already printed the jury trial
Okay,
form.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, there's no harm. I'm just saying, give me a half a second. I'm gonna print the new form for you. So,
Is it red?
Yeah.
there it is. As soon as the next one prints, we're ready. Now I got it. So this is an accident, so it's fair to yield at an intersection with an accident?
Yes.
Okay. Now, okay, Mr. Hadaway is about to put this document in front of you. We're going to review it together, and as soon as you sign it, we'll have you on your way. All right, so, Mr. Glover, do you see where, on that document, it's got your name at the top there?
Yes, sir.
And you see where it says, "I am the defendant in this matter"?
Yes.
And I voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently waive my rights to formal arraignment, a jury trial, and an attorney. I wish to represent myself at a bench trial. I plead not guilty to the charge below and demand a bench trial. Is that an accurate description of what you want me to do with your case?
Yes.
And you've noticed I've attached the citation to the back in addition to writing failure to yield at an intersection with an accident on the front. So if you're good with that, just sign on the defendant's line. You've already done that? Excellent.
Yes.
Then you are good to go. I will see you back here on Monday, October 7th at 9 a.m. sharp here in this courtroom. Do not be late. I've got a lot of ground to cover that morning, so be early.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me about anything?
No.
All right, so just remember, it is for the week, but I don't expect it to last that long. But technically, I've got to remind you that it's for the week of October 7th.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. You're free to go.
Sir? Yeah, they make a copy.
Yeah, it's not filed yet. It doesn't get filed until Monday, but you're welcome to a
Oh,
copy.
no,
if
I
you
got
want.
a initiative when I came and had a October 7th, so that's fine.
You just want a copy of this, or?
No, I'm fine. I got what she said October.
Happy to get you whatever you need.
No, that's it. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, so he's good. That brings me to Devanya Lewis. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Savannah Lewis.
All right, you're here on 24 SR 0618. I have you down that you would like a bench trial. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, I'm yes, sir.
Okay. So you are charged with, looks like 2 charges, 1 registration charge and 1 no insurance charge. And tell me how to pronounce your first name.
Savannah.
Devana.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I suspected I was
You
wrong.
closer than most people.
Well, that's good. All right. And Ms. Lewis, you, again, you're here on 24 SR 0618. I'm about to pass this document over to you for you to sign. It's, count 1 is registration.
I was gonna do the conference, but I don't know. I'll talk to you on the 7th, and we'll figure something out.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is your last chance for a conference. So,
And now the conference was kind of a little out of my league, so I'm pretty sure we'll figure something out better. If not, I'll just do the 30 by 30.
okay. Well, this is your, this
Okay,
is
so
your
listen,
opportunity.
so basically, I didn't want to go through with the conference, right? Because I want to give you my point of view versus
Yes.
giving it to the juror.
That's a bench trial.
Oh, yeah, and that's why I prefer a bench trial, because they don't want to hear what I got to say in the conference, and
Excellent.
they wouldn't care for what I got to say.
Well, that's exactly what a bench trial is for.
And that's
So-
why I said I will talk to you on the 7th, and we will see what we can do. If
Okay.
you can't do nothing better than what they did, it is what it is.
Okay, well, we'll cross that. All right, so if you'll take a look at that document, you'll see that it says, I am the defendant in this matter. Can you
Yes,
see it
sir.
there? And I voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently waive my rights to, number 1, formal arraignment, number 2, a jury trial, number 3, an attorney. I wish to represent myself in my bench trial. I plead not guilty to the charges below, and you'll see where I wrote in registration violation
Yeah, no insurance.
and no insurance.
Yes, sir.
And I demand a bench trial. If that is correct, sign where it says defendant on the left of the page there, and you and I will be good to go.
All right.
All right, so be back here on the 7th. Be early, don't be late. And we'll see you back then.
That's all I need to do?
That's it. I'll see you on the 7th. Thank you. All right, Miller pled. No, Miller's tomorrow. So Morgan pled, Pratt. Wright, Emily Wright. Please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, say your full name for me.
Emily Nicole Wright.
Ms. Wright, you're here on 24 TK 2043. You're charged with 1 count of speeding, 83 and a 55. You were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
All right, after hearing those rights and understanding them, you've asked me for a bench trial, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Wright, on this case, what I'm doing is filling out at this moment the bench trial form, and I'm going to attach a copy of your citation to it. Did you have a conference on your arraignment date?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it was unsuccessful?
I wish to speak to you instead.
Yeah, that's no problem. I just want to make certain, I just didn't want you to come back in on Monday, the October 7th, and ask for a conference. Because, that's what today's about, so.
Yes,
And
sir.
I've just noticed that you declined it, so I was just being very careful.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Taylor is going to hand you that document. You see on there where it says, "I am the defendant in this matter,"
Yes, sir.
and I voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently waive my rights to, number 1, formal arraignment, number 2, jury trial, number 3, an attorney. I wish to represent myself at a bench trial. I plead not guilty to the charge below and demand a bench trial. Is that a fair statement of what you want me to do with your case?
Yes, sir.
All right, then, if you will sign where it says defendant. And once you've signed it, you and I are good to go. I will see you, that just goes over to there, Ms. Shepherd. So Ms. Wright, I'll see you back here on October 7th at 9 a.m. Technically, it's for the week, but I think we're going to move pretty quick, so I'm not worried about that. But I have to technically say, be prepared to stay the week. And we'll see you. Don't be late on that day. Be early.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'll see you at 9 o'clock on Monday, October 7th. Ready to try your case.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Everybody else's community service work. Okay. Then I'm going to say, anything else, Mr. Shepherd?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to say issue the warrants, forfeit the cash bonds. Everybody sign their forms. We'll see a couple in the morning. And this afternoon, we have the interpreter calendar. So my community service work folks, we'll see you. For those of you that come back, we'll see you at 1:30 for the interpreter calendar. All right, court is in recess until 1:30 this afternoon. And can I get a couple of us to just stick around and talk for just a minute once we get everybody out of here? I wanted to follow up on that question about what do we do with Wednesday afternoon. So give me a second to shut everything down.